Jay Murphy. All right, what do you see in here so far? Okay, so if everything's working, can you hear me? I sound good? Back on. All right, excellent, excellent, excellent. All right, that was crazy. So I lost everything because apparently there was an NVIDIA driver that I missed, and I had to update everything after that. So, welcome back, everyone. Thank you for hanging around and coming back and all that good stuff. I'm just going to open up if I can find something here. As you can see, I've been hard at work on this guy. Let's see. I think the one I want is, this is 17, I think I want like 14 maybe? Yeah, this is the one. Okay, cool. So this is kind of where I ended up this week. I decided to make a base for him of a building, and I thought it would be kind of cool if I kind of skewed it and tilted it. And so this is where it is right now. And then the spider on him, all the white stuff on here is just done in Photoshop. So I need to add that to the model, and distress the building today and kind of work some more on his stuff. I threw Carnage in here just because I wanted to do like a little Batman and Robin kind of a scene. And this is a Carnage that I did. Sculpted this, I don't know, like maybe 2 years ago. So I have the full finished one somewhere in here. There it is. Yeah, so that's kind of what he looks like. And this is the level of finish that I'm going to have on the on Venom when it's done. This is a Substance Painter render. So when he is done, wherever he is, I'm disheveled now, you guys. Yeah, when he's done, he's gonna look like that. All right, so put this away. Now I promised the ZBrush, the Pixologic guys, I would work in Core today. I have some students that only have Core. So that being said, I have been bouncing back and forth. I started in Core, if you guys caught that, and then I went and worked in full. You son of a. Seriously? Hold on a second. Do I not have my. Oh, good, I do have it. All right, that was crazy. I was about to cuss. Yeah, so I yeah, I bounced back and forth. I did that building that you saw in ZModeler, and then I've exported all that stuff back. So if I go to File, Open, let's look this up. Pixologic, Venom for Stream. Is this it? I think this is it. Let's see. Open this up. Fingers crossed. Okay, there he is. All right. So as you can see, when I exported the OBJs in here, it got a little wonky. Obviously, I lost the Boolean chop off of the building at the bottom, so it doesn't have that nice angle that this one does. So that'll be chopped so that when I print this, it can sit on my desk. I just picked up a new 3D printer, by the way, for you guys. So thanks, Juan Carlos. Music too loud? Really? Seriously? Is the music too loud, you guys? I shouldn't be, but you let me know. I was gonna say anything's possible now that I did all the resets and on everything. Where was I? Yeah, so I chopped the building off. I got a new printer, an Anycubic. I get everything that Rafael Grassetti gets. So I got the Photon Mono X, still in the box. I haven't unboxed it yet. And I got the music is louder than my voice. All right, let me know if that does anything. I had this all perfect, and then after I updated the drivers, it all got screwed up. Yeah, so I got the Anycubic Photon X and Mono X and the Wash and Cure 2. Those are both in a box. I don't even have a table to put them on yet, so that's a wash for now. Let me get my lighting straight on here. For whatever reason, it's not good. Let's turn this one on, that to the back, boost the intensity on that. All right, that's better. Can you guys hear me now? Okay. Glad to hear the word music volume is good. Good. Okay, excellent. All right, thanks. What's up to everyone who is still here or came back? So, because I'm in Core today, obviously I can't do any more ZModeler stuff, but I will be detailing him. You can see I kind of started with the veins. His hands are pretty much where I want them to be. I started with his bicep here, so I'm going to continue to detail him and kind of distress the building and all that good stuff. Somehow I lost my color on my Venom goo. It's not what it's called. Symbiote here. So let's bring that back. Tool. Tool. Let's fill this with some color. Color fill. All right, that's good. And this one I want it to look slightly different so I can see it. So let's maybe make this a little lighter. Color and fill. All right. So if I was to solo this out, you can see yesterday, this is kind of where I want to get with the Venom, the bottom side here. And I started doing it with that one, not so much the other one here. So maybe what I'll do is just start detailing this a little bit the same way. I don't have any of my brushes from ZBrush 2021 either, so I'll just be using the standard and damn standard here. Not like that, I won't. Also, let's cut off the color so we can see it a little better. And a little lighter. And make sure I have my Sculptris Pro on. Max polygon. So I gotta play with that. All right. Not even gonna sweat it, you guys. Do need this though. Can I use it? Preferences max. I gotta fix this. Preferences. Draw. Max brush dynamic. Anybody know where this is not this? All right, somebody tell me where the max polygon limit is for Sculptris Pro. Here. Let's see. Hover over it. Enable the brushes, also decimate. Maybe it's under stroke. Brush, stroke maybe? Let's see. Yeah, here it is. Sculptris Pro. Subdivision side. Where's the max polygon? This is not even... Alright, well this is too big anyway. I'm going to Dynamesh this. Hopefully it doesn't completely get screwed up. Project. And Dynamesh. Fingers crossed. Oh, whoa. You know what? That's not terrible. Let me try that again. Maybe I'll turn it up a little bit more. 500, project, and Dynamesh. Oh my gosh. All right, well, a million polys down to 156. 1000 is much better, actually. So now I can use Sculptris Pro. Yeah, that's cool. All right. What's up, Sanimation 3D, Make Believe TV, Specky Nation? Welcome back, you guys. Apologize for the mishap earlier. All right, I'm gonna turn on my lazy mouse here. By damn standard also. So this is good for anyone who is thinking about picking up ZBrush but isn't ready to commit to the full version. I'm still able to do what I do in the full version for the most part, but you know, it's just getting used to kind of making concessions here and there. But I can definitely get the look that I want in here, and I want it to look like the symbiote part anyway. I want it to feel like liquidy and all that good stuff. I don't want it to feel too uniform. And if you're just joining me, if I turn off solo, this is what I have so far. Let's turn off the color on everything. There you go. I'm going to be doing some more of what I did to get the saliva in his mouth, which was actually some ZSpheres that I wrapped around his tongue and then sculpted on. So it's going to happen as well. Some extra time on my hands due to, I guess, you know, just COVID slowdown is what I'll call it. It's getting a lot of artist friends who it's getting tough for, like really good sculptors who it's just slow now. So I've been doing some, you know, teaching my classes obviously, and also doing some tutorials for people. If you're interested in that, reach out to me on a DM, and you know, we can set up a time and do some tutorials, like painting and sculpting, anatomy, whatever. Spent a lot of time going in on his muscles and his butt, as you can tell. I spent a lot of time on that area, making sure that the gluteus maximus was. Just kidding. No, the whole thing. So it's come a long way since that first stream with you guys, actually. Make sure I turn on. Now, if I turn on backface mask, I can't use Sculptris Pro. However, I want the backface mask on for this part because it's thin. And if I don't have it, it's going to pull through the other side, make a big old mess. So I'll say okay. Say okay. I'm going to say okay. Come on, man. Skip. There you go. about that. Player's not working right today. Everything is just... Today's not a good day. Technically. Mostly. Now you can see I'm running out of geometry here, and rather than dividing this thing, because before I know it I'll be back at 1,000,000, I'll just kind of get the general forms and then switch back to Sculptris Pro and then kind of decimate it that way. And so now if I switch back, turn off my... It's already off. Yeah, now I can bring it on back, y'all. So I'm gonna play catch up here for a minute, then I'll hop on the chat. If anybody has any questions about anything I'm doing or have done, I'm happy to answer them. But I lost a half an hour, so sculpt like a madman for a few. Solo this out. And I love with Sculptris Pro, like I switched to a smaller brush and I can get some really super fine details in there. Pretty good. So you might be asking yourself, why am I adding all of this detail to this part right here? It's going to be black, it's going to be hard to see, but I'm going to print this, and so, you know, if I add any kind of a gloss paint to it at all, it's going to pick up these little areas and really just pop off. So that's why. It's too much. All right, turn off solo. Let's see what it's saying here. Rock Zero, thank you. Sword Dip, what's up, man? Thank you. How you doing? Thanks, Irish Skull. Thank you. Where do you teach classes? I teach classes for this online school called CG Spectrum, and I'm teaching concept art and 3D concept art for them. And then I also, like I said, I just started kind of doing my own tutorial things for folks if they are so inclined. So this is totally on some this is some Bob Ross type of work that I'm doing here. Like, I'm just looking for happy little accidents to make this pop off. I don't know what a sentient blob of oil would look like, but you know, by the time I'm done, I want to look like I'm an expert at it. turn off the back face mask for a second. Yeah. Now I could really get in there and do some damage. I've become a giant fan of Sculptris Pro, and I love the fact that it's in ZBrushCORE, because that's kind of what I have my students use to kind of concept out characters that they're going to take into, you know, full 3D applications and then render and all that good stuff. It's nice to be able to come in here and play around with some really dope forms, I think. Let's turn off this building for a sec. There you go. Is that a hole? Just smooth it out here. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like a hole in the mesh. I need to close that. Let's save what I have first. Save. It's funny bouncing back and forth between Core and ZBrush. The full ZBrush is a little like going from Xbox to PlayStation for me. Like I forget where the buttons are. You know what I mean? What's a steal? That's a good foot. Nice. What's up? Kairos1. Doing well. Doing well. Sorry, deep. Thank you. Are you going to print this? FDM or SLA? So, I just got... Oh, that sound is my new ring. I got a new ring, y'all. I don't know if you can see that. RIP, MF Doom. Yeah, so I got a new Anycubic Photon Mono X and Wash and Cure 2. So I will be printing this as my very first resin print. If you guys have not been watching any of my older streams, I did this originally as a, wow, this is super bright. It's like too bright. Anyway, I did a Hulk as cut this off. All right. I don't know. Sorry, guys. I did a Hulk. It's huge as PLA, and so now I'm molding it and casting and molding one of those. And so this is a resin pour, and you can see it kept like mad detail in there. So anyway, that's that. While I have this big camera, I got an incredible book. Ordered it from Sideshow. If you're a sneakerhead, this book is freaking amazing. I love this book. So pick it up. Sneaker Freaker, the ultimate sneaker book. I love that. Back to the... Let's see. What did I miss? The titanium white. Little titanium white. Started studying ZBrush today. 33-year-old guy who works as a personal trainer. 3D modeling. Dude, yeah, absolutely. Welcome. And welcome to Sculpting, my friend. How do you have two screens at the same time? Is it software? Yes. So part of the problem, wait a minute. You talking about the big, like video screen and my regular screen. I have a Brio camera, the 4K Brio, and it's my desktop. So I just have it set up using this using NVIDIA Broadcast, which please don't. Okay, all right, it's being used. All right. So if I was to, the broadcast is actually, it's cool because it does a blur on the background. Let me see if I can get it to work. Let's see. All right, that's cool. Yes, save. All right, so now if you look at my background and I do just the camera, I got like this dope blur in the background, which is what I want because my office is a little messy. You know what I mean? Now if I move too fast, it doesn't know where to focus because I don't have a green screen or anything. But I'm gonna get it. Also, shout out to Sideshow for hooking me up with my favorite shirt of all time. All right. Anyway, it's enough of that silliness. Barcelona in the house. What's up, Pedro? Where do you take the classes? Oh, so the school is called. Let me write it down here. Little shameless plug. It's not for me. It's for the school. CG Spectrum, and it's an online school, by the way. The way to get some of the same Polypainting. Yeah, so I'm gonna be painting this. What I've done so far, like, so let me switch his tongue back. I had a toy plastic on that. Where's toy plastic? Here it is. All right, so let me fill. I gotta isolate the tongue. Oh my goodness. Come on, baby. Skip this note. Solo. Oh, there it is right in front of me. All right, so I zoom in here, isolate the tongue. Did it get one polygroup? Ah, it sure did. Auto group. There you go. All right, so now if I isolate the tongue and I fill it with this material, right? The eyes too, they're supposed to be this material. The eyes are just this dome piece here. Color fill. And let's do the spit too. Why not? Make the spit also. Do color and there, like that. And now I'll switch back to my shader, my basic. Bring it all back. Oh, the teeth. All right, the teeth need to be done. Right. Not one at a time. Absolutely not. You can see I broke this down so that I could quickly get in there. So like I can isolate the head, like the top of his head, his dome piece, as the kids call it, from the bottom. And then that's how I detail the inside of the mouth. So I'm going to do a little more to the inside of his mouth to make it look a little more, you know, juicy, I think. Like this. All right, so teeth. Let's fill those with toy plastic also. Toy to the plastic. Oh yeah, so much better. Fill object. Oh no! Just material, not color. So I poly painted the teeth, so that gives you an idea of what you can do with the power of suggestion or something. Something like that. There you go. That's better. All right, so now if I bring everything back, that's more like what it looked like in my other one, the other renders, right? If I go back over to Photoshop and zoom in, that's what we're working with over here. I'll be poly painting the spider on him, all that. What else? Let's see what else. Same sort of part. A Maxim. Ava. Hello. How long did you learn? How long did... Okay, so I've been using ZBrush probably for 5 or 6 years, I think. Before that, I have been illustrating like my entire life. So I'm an illustrator and a sculptor now, but I've been a professional illustrator for a number of years, doing stuff for like movies and toy packaging, stuff like this, roadblock action. But I want to fill this hole here, so let me solo. Go to geometry. I thought I had, let's see, geometry. Modify topology. Where's fill holes? Where is that? Size here, well, modify. ZRemesher. Dynamesh. Huh. Somebody tell me where fill holes are. Is deformation? No. Display, no. Alright. I'm gonna be real mad if alright, you know what I can do? Just for the sake of time, I can just skip that. Let's see. Yeah, that's what I thought. Modify topology. So apparently, I know it's got to have that in core. Thanks, Pedro. Somebody tell me if I'm tripping. I know there's a fill holes in core, right? Core don't have it. No! All right, I'm gonna export this into full because I'm not going out like that, you guys. Let's export this as symbiote base 2. I already have it, but let's replace it. Yes. I'm gonna hide this. Open up full. So if you're just in ZBrushCORE, you can't do it, I guess. That's maybe if I do a Dynamesh, you know what, Dynamesh should probably, I don't know. I don't know why I keep saying I don't have tablet either. That's scary. Let's close that. Okay. Close that. Load. No, import. This one open. All right. Fill holes, close holes, close holes. Boom. That's so hard? That's not so hard, you guys. Close. Now just export it. Export it. Back. Save. Yes. Back to the grill again. And over here. Import. Import. Base. There you go. Done. Dunzo. This is good for those areas that kind of get tweaked when you Dynamesh also. Whenever it gets too thin, I like to inflate and then just kind of tap it back so that it doesn't become a problem when I go to print. You don't want any like super thin areas. You know what I'm saying? It's from Maricat. Oh, I don't even have some. I don't have this on. All right. Probably be better if I had it on. There you go. That's even better. Now, it more than likely won't have kept my poly paint because I turned it into an OBJ. So yeah, it didn't. So let's just give it some more color here. UV color. Go. There you go. Turn off solo. And let's see the building. On the building. There you go. All right. Should be in modify top. Modify. I don't know where that is. Oh, modify topology. Yeah, no, I yeah, it didn't have it. Let's see. Have it. Sorry, my fill holes has been on my custom UI 2 years. No worries. Close holes. Modify topology. Yeah. Why am I in ZBrushCORE anyway? I'll tell you why I'm in ZBrushCORE. Because the good folks at Pixologic wanted me to do a video where I show that you can be a big boy in ZBrushCORE just like the regular ZBrush. That's why I'm in here, you guys. Because you can do big things in Core 2. Drinking milk. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's start detailing his body. That's what I want to do. So for that, I'm going to need reference. So I'm going to first go to Pure Ref. There it is, Pure Ref. Pure Ref here. I'm going to load some of my reference that I had already. His bodybuilder references. Pretty sweet. So I've been working on this for a minute, building this up with a bunch of guys who wish they looked like I do. They wish they looked like this. But this is good reference. So use that, and I'm going to work on him. That's how I got the anatomy looking like this. Please believe I am no anatomy guru, and that being said, had I done this with no images, it would have probably looked like a stick figure, just so you know that. I think I have enough topology here that I can turn off Sculptris Pro and just use regular sculpting here to get some of this detail. Let's see, turn this up to around 30. Yeah, that's good. I'm going to turn it down some. I want full. Let's see, I don't want color. I don't want material. That would have been a problem. There you go. So the trick of this for me is knowing, you know, when to smooth it and smooth it back and when not to, right? Because some of the veins are going to be more pronounced than others. Like, I don't like that. That doesn't look good. Is it this one? There you go. That's right. Now, do I have replay last in this? Because I really like that. tool. Stroke. Modifier. Yes, I have it. All right. I use replay last a lot. So what I'm going to do here is go to config, enable customize. If you're new to ZBrush, this is good for you. If you're old hat, just bear with me. Oh, I already have it over here. Sorry, right there. Preferences, turn off, enable customize. Okay, replay last. So what I can do now that I've laid down that vein there, if I want to go over that until it's apparent enough, I can just hit replay last, like that. And I don't have to be, you know, exactly in the same place when I draw that. And then I can kind of smooth it out until I get what I want. Now, smooth is way too high. I don't like smooth at 100% ever. Usually it's like around 30 for me. Everything's 30 for me. So lazy mouse, usually around 30. Smoothing, usually around 30. You know what I'm saying? Other thing too is when I was in full ZBrush, I stored a morph target before I did any of this, just in case I did something I didn't like. In here, it's a little more seat of your pants. I don't think that we have layers. Fairly certain we don't have layers, let alone morph targets. I know you don't, because you don't have the morph brush, and you don't have you can't do a what's the other thing I like to do? Store like a projection history also. I like that. Because then if I mess up, I can just bring it on back. Let's turn this up. I do want to have, there we go. Maybe just be able to lay it down once. Now that's too big, so it's too much. Let's turn this down. Let's see if I can get an alpha on here. I just want like just a regular basic alpha. Like a alpha 1. There you go. That's good. And then if I see areas that I think are just too roided out, I can just dial back the veins a little bit. One thing I don't like, personally, it's like a personal thing. So if you do this, don't get mad at me. But I don't like it when everything is just super, super accentuated, right? Like I can tell right here, there's the veins are too apparent on him. So I want to smooth those back some. Until they look like they're under the skin and not just, ropes on top of his skin. So that's what I'm going for. I think I kind of got that in his hands, on the top of his hands there. These are my own hands. If you can tell, this is me, right? So, I mean, it pretty much is dead on. I think I nailed it. Looks just like me in real life. Don't hate me, you guys. Don't be a hater. Don't be that guy. Anyway. Other thing I have that's nice is this anatomy tools, dude. So I can kind of look at this. It's very easy for me to get lost on the forearms. Like I really have a hard time just following the muscles, the groups of muscles on the forearm. That's where I lose it. So it's nice to have this here. And then reference too, clearly. And Venom is kind of roided out, so it's okay if he looks a little crazy. But what's going to happen is it's going to deform this skin enough that it makes him look more more realistic. So that's what I'm going for. You bring back the nails, and the nails are like the icing on the cake, I think. Let's see what I missed here. Can you change the navigation head reference? You talking about the cam view? Because I made my own. So I did this boot for a client, and I'm not far from DC, so we're big fans of Tim's here, and so I use that as my nav reference for cam view, if that's what you're talking about. This is Venom Create. Oh, somebody was asking. Sorry, I missed that. Yeah, Ashley would kill it in core because she's like amazing everywhere. You could give her a charcoal, piece of charcoal, and she could make something dope. I'm a fan of Ashley. She's one of those people that is a nice person, so if it was anybody else, I would probably like to hate on her, but she's a super talented, nice person, so that'd be stupid. All right, let's turn this down. One thing about, all right, so I have a second screen, so I'm gonna move this. No, I'm not, I'll leave it here. You gotta be thrifty with your real estate. And I'm on like a 30-inch screen here. This is a Cintiq Pro 30. If this was smaller, it would just be a nightmare to try to juggle the reference and, and your screen at the same time. Still too much. Turn that down. So I got, the anatomy's pretty dialed in. That's why I feel comfortable enough to put in the vascular level on top of it. I would never do this if it was like, a week ago or whatever. It's just be too much. The other thing for me with muscles are, I like for them to be like they're never super symmetrical and they're never really pillowy, so if usually when you look at them, there's going to be planes to them, and then there'll be areas that are rounded. So I like to mix it up a little bit and try to capture all of that in my stuff. I'm no anatomy master, so I don't want anybody to think that I'm tripping over my skills or anything. But I have been learning, so this is just kind of what I do. Great thing about ZBrush is there's no wrong way to do it, And if you do, YouTube will destroy you. Learn that. My early days. Folks who are just laying in wait to tell you how you did it wrong. So it's good, you learn from it. So that's kind of one arm down. Now then, like the next level of detail I would do is like some stretching on his skin. So maybe I can do some of that too. That's normally, you know what? I'm gonna hold off on that because that's what I would do like on another layer. In case I didn't like it, I could just, dial it back or whatever. Okay, let's get some veins on his chest. it really pops off after you get the panes down. I mean, that's just like, that's what sets it off, I think. So I kind of landed on this whole leaping over the building thing for him. So really a lot of the detail that I put into the legs is lost once I throw the symbiote on him, but I know it's there, so it's okay. If I didn't do it, I would probably be pretty upset. Using the damn standard to pop. Some areas that I want to be more creased than others. Wherever there's like extreme kind of pinching under his arms, or where the skin is folding over on itself and giving you that kind of like that look of compression. That's what I'm trying to hit. Save. I will read the comments. Let's head on to them. It's so crazy. Oh. Yeah, so to get my object in there, all I did was I went and let's see if we can do it for the head real quick, right? Let's turn off everything but the head. All right, and then if it's not centered on the screen, that's a thing. So let's see if I can copy this, duplicate it. Let's see, can I clone this with core? Oh yeah. Clone. All right, boom. All right, so now I have the head. Let's center it on our screen. So, geometry. Position. Let's zero this out. So, 0. And then if I kind of frame them, zoom out a little bit, let's do render real quick. Change this light because I'm not feeling it. Light. I really don't like straight on light. Maybe I'll do something like this. Get a nice little rim. That. And under preferences, or render rather, let's see, turn up my rays and the blur a little bit. Do a render. All right, so that works for me. So now what I can do is I can go to, hopefully this works. Let's see, go under preferences. Preferences. How's all this open? Cam view and make cam view. All right, everybody. I don't know if this is going to work. Fingers crossed. Let's see. Now, what this should do is do a snapshot at all these different angles. and then it'll store it as a PSD file. So when this is open, I'll open it up. In the meantime, let me read what else is going on. Right now, the tool mesh. Wait, right now the tool mesh is Sculptris Pro, not Dynamesh. Yeah. I'm not using Dynamesh. It's Sculptris Pro, and I'm just sculpting. Pick the game, not the player. That's right. Just wondering which program to use to reference pictures. Okay, that is Pure Ref. Pure Ref. Yeah, so what that's going to do is going to capture all these different angles. And it looks like it's centering it on that tongue is throwing it off. So it's going to kind of be weird when I do this, but should be wrapping up soon. Always learning. Hey, yep, absolutely. You know when you're done learning? When you're dead. That's when you're done. It's one to grow on. One question, how did your block out look? Oh, so I started with the demo soldier, I think, for this guy. And I just got rid of all his clothes. If you go back 3 streams ago, I was in core and I used the demo soldier, and I think I just smoothed him out and stretched him out and started using that as a base mesh. Why are you not using the latest version of ZBrush? This is ZBrushCORE, so I do have the latest version of ZBrush. This is just core because I want to show what it's capable of. Core doesn't get enough love, I don't think. And if you're just getting into 3D sculpting, then it's easy to, you know, it's actually not easy to cough up the full price if you want to just buy it outright, even though there's other options. All right, so now we have ZBrush texture. If I look at the texture, you see this. Let's take this texture and I'm going to export it to my desktop. And I will call this Venom Cam View. So save. All right, so there that is. Actually, I want to do it as a PSD, not a JPEG. Let's do it again. Where was I? Click on it. Click on the image. Where's texture? Oh, here, right in front of me. All right, export as a Photoshop file. Okay. Save. All right, let's hide the ZBrushes. Let's go over to Photoshop. Let's load. Desktop. Cam view, open. All right, so this is what it's going to look like, right? Which is actually really fresh. This is it's actually kind of cool. So now what I can do is I can hide this, open up ZBrush, C drive, come on, baby. C drive, program, files, Pixologic, core, and someone here is cam view. Startup, maybe? Startup, cam view. All right, boom. So now I can take this and drop it in. Let me use the same naming convention that they used. So let's see. Venom underscore cam view. All right, drag it in here, like so. And now if I go to ZBrush, oh, it's already there. Look at that. Boom. That's crazy, y'all. Actually, it's a little more fresh than the boot. So I'm gonna give the boot. And I go back to my subtools here, head, and I can get back with the business of working and stuff. Turn the head off because it's in the way. It's better. How to decide when to subdivide your model. So I subdivide when I run out of geometry. So on this one, if I step down to the lowest subdivision level, did it get rid of my subdivisions? Geometry. Oh man! All right, so it got rid of my subdivision levels. If I go back to ZBrush over here, this is my full version, and go to my Word. Where is load tool? 11. Let's let this load. Frame. Turn on Boolean. All right, cool. So if I were to step over here to my Venom and solo M out, turn off the color. Now if I step down, see, this is what I had before. So it's around 8,000, 8.5, 8.5 thousand points, right? So I got it as low as I could to do a nice UV later on, because I do want to add some UVs so I can bring it into things like Substance Painter or Marmoset Tool Bag, whatever. I want to do a VR kind of like a turntable thing, which I can bring into Sketchfab and have it in there too. But yeah, what I would do is, like here, you can see I had enough detail to get the major forms of these muscles. So with sculpt, get to a point where I needed more detail, then I would subdivide and then sculpt some more. You can see that here at 136,000, almost 137,000, still I'm holding a lot of detail, right? It just is kind of pixelated in some of these areas, but I can sculpt. Then when I want to get more detail, I just divide again. Like up here at 500,000, I'm able to hold a lot of detail, but I wasn't able to do things like the cracks in the knuckles. So I subdivided yet again. Now I'm at 2 million and I have all the detail that I need, right? But I did not subdivide up before that because there's no reason to sculpt your major forms at 2 million polygons. Like it's kind of like what I did when I started. It's a kind of a rookie sculpting mistake. But having the geometry this high, it's easy to have like kind of a warped surface. The lower your subdivisions are, the better and cleaner you can keep the mesh. It's my 3 cents. I went on for much longer than I expected. But little bummed that I don't have my lower subdivision levels, but the good thing about this is I can take this high-res version and export it as an OBJ, and then I can project these details onto the one that has all the subdivision levels. You know what I'm saying. Best dad joke of the day. Well, I am a dad. Hey Mike, in collectible production, how much time do they give you? Is it just around 2 weeks? So I just did some sideshow stuff, and I got more time than that. I think it varies. Um, it's crazy because they don't usually rush you. They work so far out, but you know, I'm used to 2 weeks as a turn time for my paintings. So if I have to do something for sometimes a week, but if I have to do something for a movie poster, I don't have the luxury of a whole lot of time at all. All right, I'm gonna open the Venom reference because I think that's the one that has. Let's open another one. Open new, PureRef. Load recent. Venom. Here you go. There you go. So wait, is this the? Looks like the same thing. No, this is different. Oh, this is not the right Venom. Son of a. All right, this is the guy that's like destroyed his body. This is the one I want. Like if there was a real Venom, it would look like this dude right here. Eesh, what a mess. It's good for me though. All right, let's keep going. Turn up the intensity. Turn down the lazy mouse a bit. That's what I want. Oh, I probably don't want this outline. This guy's poor mother on beach day has to be with this monstrosity. No, he's probably a nice dude. Take it back because he looks like he could totally just beat the hell out of somebody. So, you know this guy, please don't dime me out. I'm sure he's a very nice fella. Too much. Too much. So again, if I was in full ZBrush, I would have the luxury of storing a history save that if there was any of this that I didn't like, I could just project back down to what it was before. This is cool too. This kind of is like, you know, sometimes you want to work without a net, you know? I think I might have smoothed that too much. The other thing that was nice was let's see. Let me see if I can ZRemesh this at like half. I know that there's a ZRemesh in here, but I probably lost my yeah, I lost all my groups, my poly groups. This is because I saved it as an OBJ and imported it. You can't import like just a straight file from a higher version of ZBrush into Core. So let me see. I'm going to duplicate this, right? Turn off the, okay, turn off the other one. I'm going to just see what happens if I go and ZRemesh by like half. See what happens. I I've not done this before. Wait, is it doing it? Half the polygon count. Okay. Half. ZBrush. Oh. Okay. Right, so you can't. Oh wait, no. Is it doing it? It's doing it. All right. Thanks, Andy. Every time I subdivide, my details got blurred, and I have to define any tips about this. Yes, so what you can do if you're in the full version of ZBrush, well, actually you can do it here too. No, you can't do it here. Yeah, in the full version of ZBrush, which I'll jump over to when this is done. I don't want to mess around here until this is finished, but you can turn off the smoothing when you subdivide, and that'll keep you from losing whatever detail you have. You can also do a, so let's hop over here. There's a couple ways we can handle this. Let's go to ZBrush, step up, and you can save a history point by holding down Control or Command on a Mac and clicking on your timeline. See how that turned light there? So what you can do now is, if you make any changes to this that you don't like, let's say I go and oh no, that wasn't supposed to happen. That might be too much. Not that much. All right. Oh man, I just messed up my guy. What will I do? So now if I go over to, if I go over to project and hit project history, it should project back down to the point I just saved. So let's see if it does it. Thinking about it. Now there's okay, so what happened here is these parts that did not project back are because they pushed outside of, like imagine there's a bounding box around this guy. This is similar to like if you use UVs, it can only project detail so far. But what I can do now is I can smooth this out so that it gets a little closer to the mesh like that. I could even do something like use H polish to knock it down like that. And now if I project, it should fix it. So I use this all the time. And this is the same as making a morph target. Right now, see, there's some parts here that kind of got a little wonky, but that's okay, because maybe I'll step down and smooth those out a little bit. That, and then step up and project history, and it should save the day. This is great for when I'm doing the veins. I don't know why this part here got kind of wonky. I'll just smooth that out a little bit. This is great for when I'm doing veins. You can also go to what I was talking about with the subdivide, is if you go to your geometry and where it has divide here, let's see. Step down. There is it's somewhere. Where is it? Oh, SMT. You turn off SMT, then you divide, and it won't smooth out your detail. Sorry. Okay, back to core. Okay, no, I don't want to do that. No. Okay. Wait, what happened to... This is not... What happened to this? This is not what I had before. It looks like it's been Dynameshed. And I don't see my undo history. Where's the... There's no undo history in... No undo history in core? No, there should be, right? There's gotta be undo history in core. Because now I have no... Wait a minute, higher res. No, there's no... I don't know what just happened, but... Oh, I went to half. Oh, I'm tripping. All right, sorry guys. I went to half. There's the high res one. Oh man, I just totally freaked myself out there. So if I solo it, there's the high res. And if I go down, this is the low res. I don't remember why I did this, but I did for some reason. Oh, to see if you could subdivide in, or you could ZRemesh in core, which you can. So it's good to know. Good to know. It's crazy. I totally forgot why I did that. All right. Was that using ZRemesh? Yeah, so there's a ZRemesh in there. You can have what you had. Decide which parts of my model to sculpt as separate elements. So usually when I want to sculpt things separately, like the way that I originally did this, just so you know, full disclosure, I made the hands by just doing the palm and then making one finger and duplicating that finger and then moving it where I want it, right? So if I go back to, I promise I'm going to be in core, but let me go back to full version of ZBrush for a second. Now Kyle's like, Mike, what are you doing? So if I go to some of the, let's go to an older version, load tool, Venom 10. This is before I put everything together. Okay, so now if I turn off everything, and I go back down to my not in use, this was all parts before, right? So if I step down to here, you can see I didn't even have this sized, but like I had all of these things as separate parts that I sculpted, and I was able to move without deforming the surface. So let's get this reference out of the way. It's out of the way. All right. So like I had the leg, I had, this was all one part, just chopped it up and posed them. The arms used to be a separate deal too, right? So I had the arms as their own thing. That forearm, I believe, no, that's when I grouped it. I had the forearm as its own thing. It's the first time I really kind of did it this way on purpose, but I like doing it like this because I was able to move these parts wherever I wanted and not have to worry about the deformation. You know what I mean? So let's cut this back on. You can see that, yeah, those are the old arms. So like you can see I moved his arms. Let's turn off the old ones. And then I merged the arms to the body. I had the hands as their own deal, and I merged them. Same deal with the leg. It used to be its own thing. And let's cut that off here. And I don't, oh, that's the torso. So yeah, I like vivisection this dude. You know what I'm saying? Like he was Frankensteined all up. And by doing that, I could really go in and play with the pose of him until I got it just right. And once I did, I Dynameshed it back together, or I did like a Boolean combine. And by doing that, I was able to get the full mesh of his body. Right? Now, when I did this Carnage, here he is. So for Carnage, I didn't do it that way. I took the guy, posed him. I broke symmetry early because I wanted to learn anatomy, right? This was a while ago. So I used my my model as reference, and I posed him and went in and really went like to town, hiding parts and sculpting. Like if I'm doing this arm, it makes sense not to do that. It makes sense to separate the arm from the rest of the body, and then now I can get in there, I can really noodle away at the striations and the groupings of muscles and compression, all that good stuff, until I get it just right, and then move on to the next part. I saved videos of most of this carnage. So what I'm gonna do is put all that together and probably throw it up on Gumroad or something. I don't know. But this was a learning process for me. Let's go back to core. I don't know if I answered that question. Let me know. Hi, hello, hello, hi. Can I say E? E. What's up, Zetomorph? Zeltomorph? Is this your custom? What are we talking about? UI? The UI is custom for both of these things because it's just stuff that I use all the time. But the one that I have in the full ZBrush has, you know, obviously, thing. You know what I mean? Let's get my reference back. Reference. I like that new cam view. That was, I'm glad I did that with you guys. Shrink them up a little bit, get them out of the way. It's too big. So I'd rather have the intensity too low and then double up on the strokes, because then I can, you know, I'm very precise with it. You know, like, so like that looks, it's not right. That looks like garbage. Don't pay attention now. Let's do this. Do it again. Let's do it live. The only problem is, like, now I moved it, so I can't hit replay last because it'll play the movement of the camera. So luckily, I'm not super upset with that stroke. Oh, I wanted to tell you guys too. So I did a piece of artwork for Marvel's Upper Deck X-Men, no, Ultimate Spider-Man line. And so it was an anti-Venom. So anti-Venom was actually the first Venom that I did, and that was a while ago. So I didn't spend a whole lot of time on the sculpt itself because I just needed something that I could have for lighting reference, and then I would paint it, which I did. So I'm gonna hide this, go back over to Photoshop. I wanna show you guys what, so this is what I originally started for anti-Venom. And then the painting, if you go on my ArtStation or website, you can see the final painting. It looks way better than this. But the good news is I can go in now and work on all this anatomy and everything for him to bring him up to the level of the current Venom and the Carnage that I did. I tell you all that to tell you this. I think what I'm going to do is just a bunch of Venoms, you know, like the Venom verse, probably. I got almost 3 already, so why not just keep going? Do like a Toxin and Scream and all that good stuff. I just really wanted to get Venom done before the next movie comes out. Especially since I have a Carnage already. It's very easy to go too far with the veins too, you know. So like knocking them back in certain places is a good idea. And try to take that again. Very easy to go too far with veins. So knocking them back is a good idea. So, nailed it. Careful, the vein in his neck just doesn't look like a muscle. They look too thick. It's too thin. So when I join these two pieces, I'll make that look a little better. While I'm on the head, let's work on that a little bit, because I kind of just kind of blocked in these forms and then left it alone. It's a little too crinkly in some of these spots, I think. I do want some of this, but not so much. Also, I only want to affect the head, nothing else. And you can see I have the top of that head, like I said before, I have that split off on its own. So I can really get in there and just detail it until, you know, until I'm super happy with it. Move it around, all that good stuff. This is where some actual Venom reference would be nice. Not on here. Let's move this out of the way. It's out here. What happened to my... Oh, wait. That's not it. All right. I know that I have better Venom reference than this. So let's come over to this one. Load. Recent. I'll just load. Is this it? Don't save. This is not it. All right, load. Don't save your things with the same name. It's not a good thing to do. I don't think that's it either. What the hell? All right, hold on one second, guys. This is crazy. I have a Venom reference that is newer than this. Unfortunately, it's named the exact same thing as the old ones. My friend Brad would be making fun of me right now. Nice. The thing that usually works every time is not working. Oh, here it is. Okay. Full file path, please. There it is. Let's open this one. 10th time is a charm. Ah, there's nothing there. Seriously?
Are you listening? Damn. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Unbelievable, man. So stupid. All right, whatever. It's the biggest file I have in there, and there's nothing showing. Oh, there it is. All right. I'm about to lose it. I'm about to lose it. There you go. There it is. Cool. It's locked. Unlock, please. Settings. You know what? Today is some bull crap. I just want this. Window lock. All right, what's the, it said something. Control W. Control W. Thank you. Gosh, that was crazy. Yeah, so I'm gonna do a mic drops either tonight or tomorrow night. And I will be doing more Venom. I'll probably hop over to the proper full version, just so I can do some more Z modeling and things like that. Thanks, Maricat. What's up, Arnab World? Thanks, Becky Nation. Yeah, the cam thing too. Yeah, words. Texture XRC. Yeah, for him, I'm not going to, because I mean, his skin is not like real straight up skin. It's more like oil. So probably not. And what I've done here, I have a whole lot of just reference from different artists, 2D, 3D, people who have done Venom way better than I did. So I was like, you know what? I love this piece right here. This is, I think, Caleb Nefson, I believe. So dope. This one I like a lot. A little simpler than I want, though. This one is dope. What I want to do, let's look at some sculpts. Okay. Nobody really went crazy on the top of his head, but I'm going to. This is cool. This is Dan Levisi. I think maybe I was looking at Levisi when I started this, so you can tell that it's inspired by his work. Now, this is definitely a part where I want to use Sculptris Pro. So let me make sure there's no subdivision levels. Probably too high, too. Yeah. 3.429 million. That's way too high. All right, let me split unmasked. I believe I can do that. So subtool. Subtool. Where is it? I'm like the person who I was talking to earlier. Like, I have everything pinned to where I need it, so I don't know where anything is. I just want to split this from everything else. Can you do that in here? You got it. Oh, here to split. There you go. Split unmask points. Do it. Come on, baby. Yes. Excellent. Solo. All right. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I want right there. So now what I can do is I can use my Sculptris Pro and get in there, really get nice with it, hopefully. What's happening here? Still high. All right, it's really high. All right, let me try to do a Dynamesh real quick. Mesh. Bring that up a little bit. Project and see what this looks like. Too low. Too low. Let's turn it up higher. Now I have a lot of parts that are kind of close to each other, so that might be a problem. Let's try. Oh, not divide. No, I don't want to divide. Don't divide. Didn't want to do that. Undo. I want to Dynamesh. And up. Project. I'll turn the blur up just a little bit. Dynamesh. See what happens. It's Dynameshing too low. Maybe if I just divide this, I mean, it looks, this is not what I would want. But let's do ZBrush at half and see if that does anything. So this is why it's important not to go crazy subdividing your model, because you're going to want to be able to access the lower levels in order to do things like Sculptris Pro. I think you have a, I mean, you definitely have a higher cap in ZBrush, the full ZBrush. I'll just call it ZBrush from now on, to use Sculptris Pro than you do in Core, but it's nice to be able to step up and down. So I don't want to mess with this because it's calculating right now, but if I was to go over to my other version of the ZBrush, I could probably step down and save this. And if this doesn't work, actually what I'll do is I will do that. I'll save it as an OBJ, bring it back in, and then go crazy. Meantime, I'm gonna drink some water. Or maybe I won't. All right. Okay. What is happening? In this frame. All right. So it's close enough. All right, I didn't lose too much. So now if I turn back on my unsolo this, yeah, I can deal with this. This is not bad. All right, so now I can go in with Sculptris Pro and go bananas. first thing I have to do is bring up some of these areas I had before. Down my clay buildup. That's higher than I like to work with. Let's turn it down low. Then I can just kind of, there you go. I like to sketch in my forms. Get that brow I didn't have before. Shout out to Dan Labisi. He's done a few really cool Venoms, actually. If you're not familiar with his work, he's also an illustrator. So if you go over to his art station, if you're not familiar with it, you'll find some really cool stuff. I think he has the street, Sesame Street kind of renderings where I think Bert and Ernie might be meth heads or something like that. It's a different take on Sesame Street, you know, bold take on it. Social commentary. If I got that wrong, I apologize. Some type of drug addict. Don't do drugs, kids. I really just want, I'm going to turn off everything except for the actual head here. I want to really kind of go hard on this lip where it meets the gum. That's one thing about Venom. He always has like that nasty kind of like lip. All right, maybe I would do better to use inflate because some of these areas are a little thin there. Yeah, I'll just inflate that part. And if you're wondering, I did most of this head sculpt in symmetry. I did most of the Venom in symmetry, and then I chopped them up and posed them. So it's a little bit easier. But this is like fun, right? Like this, I don't really do a lot of monsters, but you know, just finding these forms is pretty fun for me, actually. Yeah, that lip is what, like, that's everything for him, I think. The lip and the teeth. So yeah, I'll be continuing this on my own personal stream. If you're not already, please give me a follow on YouTube, Mike T Artwork. The link is at the top. So give me a follow on there if you're interested in any doing like tutorials or whatever. Oh, I'm not on it anymore. That's why I'm doing that. Yeah, if you're interested in any kind of little extracurricular, that sounded terrible, like tutorials or whatever, give me a shout too. A lot of friends on Facebook and Instagram, but if you join me, Facebook is kind of full, but if you join me on Instagram, you can DM me and we can work out something there. Or if you're a company that's in need of a illustrator or sculptor, hit me up. I would love to work with you. Oh, I almost forgot to tell you guys. So, I have this new kind of what do you call it? HP and NVIDIA built a machine for me to use, and it is dope. So I started playing with this ZBook that I got from them. It's a HP ZBook Create. With it's got some pretty dope specs. 2 terabyte hard drive, 32 gigs of RAM. It's got an RTX 2080 Ti in it, I believe, which is the same thing I have my desktop that I'm using right now. So I've been using that as like my daily driver for a lot of this Venom, and it's crazy how small it is and powerful. Like, not just to be on some commercial type business right now. It's really dope. I used to be a Mac guy, so the form factor of it really reminds me of a Mac. And it's a beast. It's actually way faster than the Lenovo I have. I have a Legion, and smaller, so it's pretty cool. Videos to come. I'm glad I'm doing this. Actually, the lip was what I was missing to really make him feel like Venom. And I can get in there and like polypaint the crap out of it, really make it look nice. So that's good. Just don't want to make the brush too big. A lot of these areas need inflate because they're getting a little thin. So just add geometry because I'm using Dynamesh, or not Dynamesh, but Sculptris Pro rather. Pretty fresh. Oh, I need to get my notes too, because there's things I want to do to this guy that are in Photoshop. That's the building. That's not the What am I on? 13 I already have. 15? Nope. Again, this is what happens when you don't give your things like logical names. Let's go to the desktop. Or not. this next one isn't it. All right, screw it. Whatever. Forget it. Would have been nice if it worked, but it didn't. So. Gotta be more organized. Come on. What I do need for him is some of those little tendrils that stick up. So I have this one that I kind of started here. Then I'm going to duplicate, move around, and make, you know, mess around with it. So let's just do that. And I want to mirror it. Mirror. That's VLC. I had this on my sketch. Let me just go to Facebook and download it. I don't know where the hell it is. I hate when I can't find things. Let's move this out of the way. Look. Me. Okay. Shrink that down. All right, there it is. Okay. So I just want to add some of these tendrily deals to him. Break it. So when I need really intricate, like, versions of this that really kind of wrap around him, I'm going to use the ZSpheres. I just want to get a couple of these in real quick, just to not have nothing. Just make sure I'm careful not to get the mesh too thin, because it will break. Plate smooth. Something I like. You can also use the inflate with Alt to shrink it up a little bit. Places where it gets a little too balloony. And then just smooth it out. So like right now it looks like an antenna on him, so I don't want that. Don't want that so much. Maybe I can just move this guy somewhere else. Somewheres else. And then mess with him. It's cool actually. I don't need all that. What's going on here? Oh no, don't do that. If this doesn't save, I'm gonna be really, really pissed. Please save. I should have known. I was really liking that. That's what happens. Don't ever like your stuff. When you like your own thing, snatched out of your hands. Always hate your own work. It's the only way to be safe, you guys. I'm not even kidding. think it did it. Did it do it? Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Oh, yeah. Yes. Yes. Saved it. Love you guys at Pixologic. All right, now I'm going to save it because I was not saving. That's the other thing. Save always. Frequently. Please, please do that. File. Save. So. Project Venom 4 stream. I'll call this 1 just in case it got corrupted somehow. I don't think it did, but you never know. You never know. All right, I think I'm good to go. Oh no, wait, cancel. Come on, baby. Let's see. I missed a lot of stuff in the stream. Man, I missed a lot of stuff in the stream. Okay. Yeah, so mic drops tonight or tomorrow. If you're not already, give me a follow on YouTube, please. Any tips for daily practicing? Whatever you want to get better at, whatever you are not good at, work on that as much as possible. My anatomy used to be really sketchy, and by working on it a lot, I've gotten better. Right? Not saying I'm there yet, but it's definitely better than it used to be. Right? Like if I was to look at even something like that anti-venom that I had on the screen a little earlier. I can't wait to do that again. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Yes, I believe I know what you were saying. Favorite South Park, you guys? You haven't seen it. Like I said, a lot of this stuff is like happy little accidents. One thing I've noticed, so it's crazy because it's been slow for me. Last year I was working all the time, and so I got a little kind of full of myself. And this year has been slow. So I've had free time on my hands. What I've been doing to kind of make up for it is working on personal stuff. And I'm noticing that I'm working faster now. So this MF Doom that I've been working on, I kind of blazed through a lot of that. This, this piece on my screen here went fast for me. So, and the Venom, also is moving pretty good. But it's another one of those things where a lot of this stuff is just things kind of happening by accident. And I'm not mad at that. I'll take it. Let's put it that way. I really want to push the idea of this thing being wrapped around his arm. I'm going to print this too, so I don't want it to get too far out away from the skin because it just will, it'll be easier to print if not. Probably have to do it as two separate pieces if I did not do that. I did like a similar thing for this guy. Like this whole fire piece is something that connects to his forearm, and it just makes it easier. Like it's interesting now that I've done a few of these things for production. I have a mindset that will help me, think of those things as I'm sculpting. I think. I don't want any areas that are too dainty either, because they're just going to break. This one I don't love. Great thing about Sculptris Pro is that this part down here, if I don't like it, I can just make my brush kind of big and it just disappears. Look at that. Boom, gone. Now I got this up here. I got about another 15 minutes, so if you guys have any questions about anything, let me know. Be happy to answer them. And if you want to see me continue working on this guy, I'll be doing it on my personal stream tonight, either tonight or tomorrow. Right? I don't know whether it's going to be. Depends on how I feel. But if you give me a follow on, if you give me a subscribe rather on YouTube, on Mike T Artwork, which is at the top, you'll get a notification. And won't miss it. If you guys find any of this stuff helpful, I don't like this one. Don't like this one. Nope. If you guys find any of this helpful too, please tell a friend, because sharing is caring, you guys. Let's try some color on for him. Oh, I forgot I did a ZBrush and lost the color on the top of this dome piece. Now this part of the building I had as a boolean on the regular ZBrush. So the bricks are there somewhere, you just can't see them. Let me see if I can get that soloed out. Of course I made it all one thing. Let's auto group. There you go. And hide this piece. Can we hide this piece? Come on, baby. There you go. All right. So that is knocked through. So let me mask this. Bring it back. Looks like it's a little crooked too. So that will eventually be a window with plywood on it. You can see I just kind of quickly figured out some roofy type stuff. This doesn't have color, it should. I'm gonna use this, I think, yeah, and then fill this with metal color fill. Back to, there you go. Yeah. All right. So you can't tell it from here, but I had basically a Boolean which makes this flat. So if I take this down to the bottom, it chops off here, and so it's going to sit on my desk with the building kind of crooked. If we go back to here, you see frame. Yeah, this is what it's going to be. All right, so chops off at the bottom, kind of skewed. I want it to be dynamic, so this whole skewing thing is what I'm looking to do. I'm going to crack up the the masonry at the top here and make it look more messed up. The brick's obviously going to have texture. Probably put some dents or something in the air conditioning unit on the top here, or vent, whatever this thing is. That's it. Let's give this some color while we're at it. Why is it selecting behind the object? That's not good. There you go. There you go. All right. And color, I want to fill it with color. Is that set to, oh, it's got a, okay. This stuff, oh, look at that. All right, actually, solo this out. This should all be just the regular color, so, or the material rather. So I'm gonna set that. There you go. There's that. Put it back to. There you go. It's better. So it's getting there. Back to the grind. I asked you guys to ask questions, then I didn't look at the questions. Gathering Wolves, what's up? Music is all stuff I found on YouTube in the royalty-free. Moshimi, thank you. Moshimishi. Done in 1.5 hours. Oh, hell no. No, I've been working on this for a minute. Are you going to sculpt any of the logo? Yes, I'm going to sculpt that into his back and his chest also. IR bounced. The mic looks amazing. Thank you. Alex, thank you. What are you sculpting? Venom, really nice. Thank you. Speechless. Thanks, Zenworks. For booleans, sometimes. I mean, sometimes I get artifacts. It depends on if it's like super thin in that area, so you just gotta beef it up in those parts. Yeah, my channel is at the top of the screen. Yeah. for you to start modeling some of the new black superheroes coming out of DC? DC, you almost lost me at DC, but yeah, no, I plan to. I plan to get in there. I want to do actually Sam Wilson Falcon. I'm sorry, Sam Wilson Captain America, actually, but like the comic version, kind of dope. So yeah, back to your realistic self. Yeah, yeah, I had to get some stylized. I like, but you know, I gotta sculpt some realism too. All right, so now what I want to do is I want to, let's see, can I append a Z-sphere? Yes, good. There it is. It's pretty big, but I want to move this, scale it. So this is how I got the saliva on his mouth. So over here. Where's transparency? There it is. All right, it's an arm. So I'm just adding some Z-spheres here so that I can kind of wrap this thing around his arm. All right. So once I have something like that that I'm not too unhappy with, I can just tweak a little more. Actually, let me throw these in here. Get that curve. I want that. Maybe it's off of the mesh in some parts. That'd be kind of dope. That. All right. So, in fact, let's do this. Draw another one here. Now I can get that look I want where it kind of splits off from itself. And anybody that's been using ZBrush for a long time, they know that like Z-spheres are not new. They've been around forever, actually. they're really good for something like this. So scale this a little bit. All right, so that'll work for me. Now I can turn this into a skin. Right. Let's first save real quick. Yes, save. So now I can come down to my geometry, adaptive skin, and turn up the resolution a little bit. Maybe not too much. That's fine. Preview it. Turn off transparency for a second. All right, so that's cool. Now I can say make adaptive skin. Like that. Right. Go up here, there it is. Copy. Go back over here. I can turn off the ZSpheres. If I go back down here to adaptive skin and turn off preview, you see there's still ZSpheres. So I can actually use this again, right? So if I move this, make my brush big enough, I can move this thing, stretch it out, use it in other places, and I don't have to redraw all these again, which is pretty great, right? Just get it over the point that I want. All right, I'm gonna put it here for now just to turn it off. And I will now paste the other one in. That. All right. Now I can go in and just play around with it until I get what I want. And there's a whole lot of back and forth until I get something I like. But eventually I'll land on it. All right, let's get a render before. Oh, wow, I ran long. All right, let me get a render real quick and then get up out of here. Hope there's not anybody right after me. I messed up. Render. Yes. There you go. All right, guys. So that is where I'm gonna probably call it for today. If you guys want to see more of this, subscribe to my YouTube. I'll be doing another stream either tonight or tomorrow, something like that. But yeah, I would love to have you there. And that is it. Just real quick, Alex, love the realism. Oh, learn that. Yep. Have you ever animated in 3D? I have not, but my friend Brad has taken my Luke Cage and gave it a walk style, a run cycle. Actually, it's pretty cool. Junior artist to make this function like this. Recommend getting started. Get a copy of ZBrushCORE and start playing around with it. You sculpt a character from the bottom up. Use ZSpheres to create limb. No, I don't do that. I usually just use a Basemesh really quickly. Like this one started off as the demo soldier. I just deleted the subtools, the clothes, and all that. And started working on it. All right, cool. Everybody is leaving. So yeah. All right. Take care, everybody.